Anybody have an oil story? An oil story for the week. Who has someone that has had oils help you?
I have. I started a new job with Dan's brother, Phil. I'm working at his shop, and I bring a Dean with me. I made it I told Phil, I was like, don't worry, Adina's like really easy. Like, she's such a chill baby, and she's not difficult to deal with. I typically know what she needs, right? Not the case at all since we've been over. I jinxed it. Since we've been over with Phil, like, it just has not been that at all. So about 10-15 minutes before I'm getting ready to go, I start putting Brave on her, and I either put it right like on the bridge of her nose where she's smelling it, or I put it right on top of her crown. I just like right there, not necessarily on the soft spot, which she doesn't really have as much anymore, but just kind of right in that area. And I do lavender calmer, the calmer on her feet. For the most part, it's been helping. I think she's just very, she's very excited by this new environment that we're in. So she's just wanting to see everything and be a part of everything. So, but she's doing great. A lot better than like the first day. I was like, oh my God, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. Like, she's Good. Very needy, something that she's, for the most part, she's not. She's not needy, she's not clingy, but the first day she was just all
it was a new situation for her. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would keep trying other calming oils, because you might even, ylang ylang is supposed to be one that helps calm children. A grouping of balance and serenity together might be something that helps her. So that's awesome.
I actually ran out of deodorant, and for about like a week there, I made my own little like deodorant, and I mixed like the fractionated coconut. I put it in a roller bottle, but I mixed fractionated coconut oil in there, and then I just put whatever oils I wanted to.
That's awesome.
And I did ylang ylang and copaiba and serenity, and the ylang ylang is really, really strong. So it was like putting it on, and I did notice a difference with her. Not so much with me, but with her.
Interesting. Interesting.
And I just thought that was the serenity, but
it could have been the ylang ylang.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it might have been the ylang ylang.
That's awesome. All right, anybody else have an oil story they want to share?
Did I already tell you I've been using helichrysum for my plasma injection site?
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, so bruising happens like sometimes if they just stick you a little bad, or sometimes even if it was good, it was bruised. It seems kind of random almost, but yeah, I'll just put a little helichrysum on it before I go, and then of course after, and then I will not have any bruising, and it's awesome because I don't look like some kind of drug addict.
That is amazing. So yeah. in church on Sunday, I'm trying to think if it's okay to say this. So I just won't say who it is, but I was shaking somebody's hand in church, and he's an elderly person. I put this in my newsletter this Sunday, and he had bruises all over his hands. And I just wanted to just pour helichrysum on him. And he said, yeah, it's all over my body. He's just older, and everything he touches turns into a bruise. And I thought, boy, I don't know if helichrysum would help that much, but bruises is one of the best things you can use helichrysum for. Really, really helpful. So that's awesome. Any other oil stories for the week?
I have something to add to that story.
Yeah.
My friend used helichrysum in a roller bottle and got rid of her bruises that way.
Yeah.
She's older and bruised easily, and yeah, works.
It's a great way. Yep. Somebody else said something.
I had a question.
Yeah, Diane.
I heard I don't even remember what company it was, but it was an advertisement about this product that this company makes.
Mhm.
But the basis of it was clary sage, and they use it to rub on people's heads to increase their mental capacity, like for dementia. And I mean, it even had some miraculous story about this little girl who never spoke a word until she was 8 years old, because they went and did some tests, and her, I don't know, something wasn't connecting. And after using this product with clary sage in it, she started talking.
That's something.
But I'm just wondering if you've heard of anything about dementia or mental clarity using clary sage before.
I know clary sage has a lot to do with hormones. Maybe somebody else has some input there, and that would definitely help clear some of the, lagness that comes lagging in our brains.
The brain fog.
Yeah, brain fog.
I just thought it was an interesting
Yeah.
idea. I might try it.
And I have heard of children that have spoken, but after the use of essential oils too. So there's just something that straightens things out naturally in the brain. So lots of possibilities there. So cool.
Amazing.
Yep. We're so glad to have you all here. Kathy, good to see you. And Jenny and Melody, thanks for getting on. And all of you, it's just wonderful. Wonderful to have you here. We're going to start tonight with
Elaine?
Klevelin. Yes, Lee,
Can I just say something about the clary sage?
please do.
I have seen that all sage plants seem to improve memory, and there is some research that's been done that they can potentially fight Alzheimer's. So
Excellent. We don't have anything besides clary sage though, do we?
no, we just have clary sage, but it does say all sage plants. So,
Very good to know.
I would think
This-
it's still good for.
This one ad I was telling you about said they discovered it in some mountains where who are those guys that, oh goodness, I can't even think. The monks.
Yeah.
Right.
And they use it in their tea, and it greatly improves their mental capacity.
Aha.
That's awesome. I'm trying to think of our clary sage's internal use.
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure how it tastes, but wow. It might be worth
It tastes good.
it. Yeah. in
I
there.
had one of my doTERRA clients call me panicking because she spilled her clary sage. And I will just say that it's not like me to say something like this, but it's definitely her personality. She said, I've got to have it. It lifts my booze. Maybe I shouldn't put this on. I know you're recording, but she was in a
I've not heard of that. Okay.
in her belly button, like drops every day. And she was in her 70s, was a widow and still cared,
Okay. I've not heard that one.
Yeah, there you
Well,
go.
Clary sage is actually one of the oils that I used after I had Adine, my daughter, for milk production. So maybe that's
Yeah.
got something to do with the change that she saw.
Yeah. That is so interesting. All new things to try. That's so great. Okay, Klevelin, I'm going to do my best to introduce you, my dear. I should have asked Leanne to introduce her because Klevelin is now renting rooms from Leanne, and they're buddies. Their families live together in a home, which is so cool. Klevelin joined our team, I'd have to say maybe 6 or 8 months ago. Maybe that's right. I don't think it's been a year.
Not yet.
Not yet. And the coolness of Klevelin joining our team is that her husband was in the Levitt's home checking on their air conditioning and just happened to see the doTERRA sign on their window as they left. And Klevelin and her husband had already researched this company, already knew about doTERRA and already knew about the products, and just needed somebody to connect to help them through it. And I still wonder sometimes how our lives are orchestrated. I think there's little angels saying, move here and then go here. And don't forget to notice this. And you just get to have this miraculous woman on our team now because of that chance meeting. And so we've gotten to know Klevelin a little bit over these 8 months or so, but she's young. And I won't tell how old she is unless she wants to tell, but she's young and she's a mama of one. And she is a joy with her energy and desire to be natural herself and to help all of us with natural things. So super excited to have her teach us tonight about meditation and yoga. Turn time over to you, my dear.
All right. So thank you for the introduction. I'm 22 years old. That is how young I am. I just turned 22 this past Saturday, and
3 days ago.
yeah, I don't necessarily feel the difference, but I'm sure my body will eventually get there. So I am also expecting my second child, and I am thrilled. At the beginning, I was a little bit in denial, but now I'm happy. I'm in a good place now. So really hoping it's a boy this time so that we can just have the boy and the girl, and then hopefully that'll be it. But who knows? God might send us more. Yeah, so yoga and meditation. Yoga is actually something that my husband and I have worked towards getting into a more refined routine into doing. Meditation is it is our way of dealing with our mental health. And honestly, with a child, especially a baby, very, very vibrant baby, and she's now very, very, very vocal and likes to throw things, so that's great. Those moments where you just sit in silence and really get in tune with your body, with your feelings, and recognize what your body is trying to tell you, what your mind is trying to process, the feelings and everything. Meditation has become very important. Even if it's 5-10 minutes that we do in a single day, to try to get to the state where we can recognize, I am feeling overwhelmed. I am feeling like perhaps I need more than the 10 minutes, and it's just too much noise. I need to center myself and focus on what is actually important, which at the end of the day, as much as I personally, and I'm sure that's true for most of you, as much as I love my family and as much as I want to give, I can't give if there's nothing for me to give. So I need to take care of myself first, and I need to focus on pouring into myself so that when I do pour into other people's cups, I don't feel drained. I don't feel like at the end of the day, like I did everything for everyone and not enough for myself. And that is one of the biggest things in meditation. And meditation, getting to the point where if you can do it standing up, if you can do it while you're walking, it's even better, because you're just focusing on what's in your mind without necessarily always staying stagnant, which for the majority of my pregnancy, the first time around, that's what I did. I had a terrible pregnancy the first time around. It was just throwing up all the time. I couldn't keep any food down. I couldn't keep any water down. And I was tired. I lost 10 pounds the first trimester. It was truly exhausting. And I started to meditate when I got really depressed, because I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. And at the beginning, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know I was pregnant. So I got very, very depressed, to the point where I would be tossing and turning in bed, and then I would go and get in the shower and turn on the cold water and get in it, like clothes and everything, just get into shower and cry. It was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is just exhausting. I feel like I'm going to die. This is just not I don't know what's happening, but I can't continue to do this. And at that point, I would sit in the shower and I would cry. And after about 15 minutes of just crying, I would sit there and I'm like, okay, well, what is it really that I'm feeling? What is it really that is causing all of this? Because I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping. Why? Because those are just symptoms. Why? What is causing this? And eventually, after thinking it over in my head for a while and expressing my concerns to my husband was like, take a pregnancy test. At that point, we were under the impression that I was not going to be able to have children. So when he told me, take a pregnancy test, I was like, you're crazy. Like, don't do this to me. Like, don't get my hopes up. And then I'm going to end up getting a negative test because we both know that that's what's going to happen. And then I'm going to be crushed because I do want a baby, but that's just not in the possibility for us. Anyway, long story short, meditation got me through that. Meditation got me through the whole pregnancy. And it's not the only thing that did, because I did do a lot of yoga in order to prepare for the natural birth of my daughter. I had a little yoga ball, and my midwife was always asking me, like, what are your yoga routines? I want to know what you're doing. I want to know what you're doing to prepare for this moment, because your first time mom, your body is going to go through so much stress, and I want to know what you're doing to prepare, because maybe you're not doing enough, maybe you're not doing it correctly, whatever it is, I want to help. So yoga and meditation got me through that, and it is still getting me through my day. Sometimes I just sit in my car and I just take a minute before I go into my family's home. I just take a minute to just gather my thoughts, gather my feelings, and recognize when I'm being overwhelmed. And it's one of the biggest things that I tell my younger sister now is, it's okay. It's okay to take a minute and recognize, okay, I'm feeling annoyed. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I need to take 5-10 minutes to just clear my mind, deal with this feeling that's brewing inside of me, and then come back when I think I'm ready to really deal with it. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So I make sure I have it pulled up before I go. Okay. My computer is really slow. Here we go. Let's see, maybe
I see your
close some of these
name. I don't
tabs.
quite see. Hopefully it's coming.
I have a really old computer, and it's gotten me through some tough times, but I think it's about time for me to upgrade.
Yep.
I was telling Shalene just yesterday that I typically go and I look for like a presentation that is already out there, and I can just study and go through. That way I know what I am going to, like, different like topics to definitely.
It's sure taking its time. You might need to do it without, and if it isn't going to load for us.
Well, while we wait, I just feel like you sharing your experience is just kind of sacred, you know? It takes a lot to share what you're going through and what you've been through and be real. And I just find myself being okay with it taking time for your screen to come up and just soaking in what you've just already said.
Thank you, Janalee. I think she might be frozen. So as you said those kind words, I'm not sure. Yep, we just lost her. So she's probably gonna have to come back in again. So how many of you practiced meditation? Yep, that's what I thought. So Leanne asked me just a minute ago if I did meditation. I thought, yes, I do. But then I thought, maybe I don't know what meditation is, or, if it needs to be, sitting cross-legged and doing this, I don't do that. Yeah. But I do spend probably 15 minutes every morning just thinking. Part of it's prayer, but part of it's just thinking and being calm and looking forward to what's in the day. I don't do yoga, so I don't know how much she's going to talk about yoga. Anybody else meditate or do yoga or have?
I meditate, and my meditation has more to do with mindfulness because my brain tends to go off on all kinds of different tangents.
Yep.
So I like to be able to sit for a good 10 minutes and just focus on my breathing and calm my mind, focus on just the present. So I do that. I do it in the morning and in the evening. And then I pray after I've done that.
That's nice.
It's to bring my focus into a right place for prayer.
So when we've been at convention, they've had somebody speak on the stage. Oh, here she is. They've had somebody speak on the stage, and they really had us do meditation, and it was the most relaxing thing because she would keep talking and saying things to tell us to relax or to breathe or something. So that was really helpful. All right, Klevelin, you're back. Do you want to try and load your thing again? Yep, you're muted. Let's see if you can.
I'm wondering if anybody tried the Adaptive app.
Yeah,
They had a lot of people, or where it would talk, right? Like if you like that sort of thing, guided meditation.
Guided meditation.
Yeah, I'd be really curious if anybody ever had success with the Adaptive app.
I did not have success
did
with
not.
it.
I tried it for a while and I did not. Ooh, we're getting something. Let's see.
There we go.
I'm just sharing it on my phone now because
Sounds good.
this will work a lot better than my slow computer. Alrighty. So
There you
this is
go.
going to be short, and I think it's great because we got to speed through. So what is yoga? Yoga is actually a spiritual discipline based on extremely subtle science, which focuses on bringing harmony between mind and body. It is an art and science of healthy living. The word yoga is derived from the Sanskrit root yug, meaning to join or to yoke or to unite. And there are many benefits to regularly and consistently practicing yoga, which include improving your posture, increased flexibility, which I got introduced to yoga when I first started doing dance back in middle school. Our warm-ups were just a whole bunch of yoga poses because of the easiness that it is it gives you a really nice way to, like, for example, the splits, to kind of get into the splits, gives you nice flow in your body. So it really helped me in my dancer years. It builds muscle strength. Like if you see this lady in this picture is one of my favorite pictures because of I've tried to do this multiple times. It takes so much strength to do this. And she's not necessarily like bodybuilder ripped like her body, but you can tell she's got a lot of strength. And I strive to be able to do that one day because so far I've just fallen on my face, which was it boosts your metabolism because you're constantly moving your body and pushing it just a little bit further each time you go into a yoga pose, each time you flow through each movement. It creates this, what is it called? Routine, and it gets your body, it stimulates your body, and it stimulates the wow, my brain just went brain dead. It stimulates your body, and it stimulates the
Blood flow.
blood flow. Thank you. The blood flow in your body, so that that way it starts moving things in your body, so that you actually starts working like it's supposed to. So I struggled with back pain, lower back pain, especially after a dean, and yoga was definitely one of the things that helped. I was not prepared for that after the birth of my daughter. I honestly thought I had it all figured out, and then she was born and I realized I didn't. Go back. It helps with lowering blood sugar, which is really great. Again, with the blood flow of your body, it's a great way to keep diseases and any other ailments in the body, keep them away. And it does increase self-esteem, because the more you push your body to do these poses, and the more consistent you are with it, you start to realize, like, wow, I wasn't able to do this 3 months ago, or even 3 weeks ago. I couldn't hold it this long. It burned. It was just, there was a lot of pain in this, but now I can do it. Now it's easy. And then you just keep consistently and easily pushing your body, and it just gets better. And it makes you feel really good, because you look at yourself and you realize, I am making progress. So the Doterra yoga.
Klevelin, real quick, Melody put here that she's heard the poses help the muscles to stimulate the adrenal lymph glands to drain properly.
Yeah, I read that. I just wasn't able to find anything to follow up for that, but that is a really good point. And I absolutely love the benefits that it has for your body. I haven't necessarily been practicing it consistently enough to where I can say I've lost any weight, but I do know that it helps with weight loss if you do it. Maybe it's every day. I don't really do yoga every day. I do it maybe 2 to 3 times a week in the mornings before I eat anything, because otherwise I feel like I might throw something up. So the Doterra yoga collection, which I was lucky enough to try here at Leanne's home I think it was a few months ago, we did a yoga class here, and it was guided. We just turned on the TV and did sun salutations. And I will say another one that isn't on here, but I do recommend, is balance. You have problems with your balance, a couple of drops of balance in the crown of your head or in the bottom of your feet will help you, and that will go a long way for when you are doing these poses. The key benefits: use with intentions of completeness, calmness, and courage. Use with intentions of harmony and calm progress. Use with intentions of happiness, clarity, and courage. And this kit comes with the Doterra Anchor, Doterra Align, and Doterra Arise.
Love it.
Each one of them has their own purpose. Doterra Anchor is for seated meditation, seated twist, which is basically when you put one leg, you're sitting, and then you just put one leg over your knee, the opposite knee, and you just kind of twist your body backwards. And I love that one because every time I do that one, my lower back just cracks, and it feels so good. It feels so good. And each time I'm able to stretch out just a little bit more than the last time and hold it, which is great. Doterra line is great for the warrior, and these are poses: warrior 2, triangle, and gate pose. And then the arise is good for standing arms, high standing side stretch, and the half moon, which I'm not familiar with that one. I think I might know that one by a different name. And so here is the collection and what you will see if you look for it on the website. The price of it wholesale is $54, at retail $72, and it's
They're
combining
5
the
mils. They're 5
Yes.
mils too.
5 milliliter bottles. Combining the best of yoga and aromatherapy, the doTERRA yoga collection is the perfect addition to your practice or daily or weekly yoga practice. doTERRA Anchor steadily blend incorporates lavender, cedarwood, sandalwood, cinnamon, frankincense, the king of oils, black pepper, and patchouli in a base of fractionated coconut oil. doTERRA line features bergamot, coriander, marjoram, peppermint, jasmine, and rose essential oils in a base of fractionated coconut oil. And the Arise Enlightening Blend brings together grapefruit, lemon, osmanthus, melissa, and Siberian fir in a base of fractionated coconut oil. Any of these 3 unique blends are perfect companion to a successful yoga session. And I just want to highlight that there are so many different practices of yoga. There's prenatal yoga. There is yoga specifically to help you with back pain. There is yoga specifically to help you with your posture, or to help you with any pain. There is yoga specifically for how can I say this? For the chakras and for spiritual purposes. So if you would like to learn more about the specific yogas and which one would be best suited for you, you're always more than welcome to reach out to me, and we can go through them together and kind of figure out where you might fit in best. And that concludes my little presentation. Please, if anyone got any questions, I absolutely open the floor. If anybody wants me to go over anything, let me know.
So I don't know any of those poses and any of those things, but the one picture you showed, I know I could never get into that position. So is there simple, are some of the poses really simple that you can do?
Yeah. Oh yes, some of them are as simple as there's one where you don't necessarily lay down on the ground, but you get down on the ground and you just you put your legs behind you and you lay on your stomach, and then you just reach up with your nose to the ceiling or to the sky. And that is to help you, again, with your lower back, and help with stretching, help with your core, because you engage your core, and that helps keep everything there where it's supposed to be. And it's one of those things that it doesn't really matter. Again, there are yoga types for every person and for every purpose out there. So if you're a person who, like me, I feel like sometimes I'm not that flexible as I used to be. So I don't go for the really complex ones. I don't go for the ones where I feel like I'm definitely going to feel bad afterwards. Like,
Right.
Not just my self-esteem, but my body isn't going to feel so great afterwards, because that defeats the whole purpose of it.
Right.
There is a simple one. It's called cat. It's a cat stretch, where you're just on all fours. You're on your knees. You're on all fours, and you basically you arch your back up, and you just hold it in. A lot of yoga is also learning how to control your breathing. And that again helps with your core, but it also helps with when you are having those days of anxiety or those moments where you're very clouded, breathing through it and being able to take, when you are in these poses, you realize how much more you can breathe deeply, if that makes sense, how much deeper you can breathe. And so when you're then in a regular situation where just sitting down or you're walking around and you just start feeling this way, you're able to breathe a lot deeper. And that also very much helps with your mental health and overall body health, physical health.
I love it. I love it. When you were gone, we were talking about meditation a little bit. And I think breathing, like you were talking about, has a lot to do with just slowing our body down, letting thoughts flow. And we just don't take time to do that very often.
Yeah, no, and it's very important, honestly. And doing it in a quiet, safe space is probably best, just because it really helps you focus on what you're feeling and listening to your body, to your mind, to what it's trying to say to you. And I have had days where I know that as much as I love my family, I am not picking up any phone calls from my family, because I know what that's going to do to me on that day. So
we all have some family like that too.
Text, and I just text them and I'm like, you know what? Today is just not having a great day. Can I get in touch with you when I am feeling a little better? And then they're like, sure. Some of them don't really get it, but it's okay, because it's
good.
for them to get, it's for me to realize that I need to take that break. I need to be able to bring myself back to center and
put yourself first.
Put myself first, so that I can then, like I said earlier, pour into other people's cups, pour into myself so I can pour into other people's cups.
There's some great chat here, and I appreciate all the comments. I didn't know there was chair yoga, so that's something I'd like to look into. Leanne says there's great yoga videos for all different things on Amazon Prime. That sounds awesome. Sounds like we need a little guidance and use the oils along with what we have, and that'll be great. So, any other questions or comments?
I used to go do chair yoga at the senior center in Round Rock and the Baca Center. And I would take my yoga kit with me and use my yoga oils as I was going. And it was a good way to introduce oils to other people who were there, who had not seen the oils yet.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Fantastic. Oh my goodness, such good info. Okay, I'm going to be meditating more, and I'll look up chair yoga. See if I can.
So I was trying to look up the pose. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And I was like, is she talking about cobra pose? But that's the one with the hands in the front. And then I was noticing, like, Klevelin was saying that she you can do it for symptoms too, because as I was going through, it was like yoga poses for constipation, yoga poses for, and I was like, whoa, and just blew my world open right there. Not necessarily constipation, but just looking up whatever symptom.
Yeah,
right?
that there are poses for things.
And when she was talking about that pose, it strengthens your lower back, and it actually, like, we tend to hunch over instead of going backwards. So it's actually helps your lower back pain a lot when you do some of those. So it's.
Thank you for that input. And I love your butterfly. I love your wall, your butterfly behind you. And I have that same exact sign in my room. Believe there is good in the world. Be the good. I love that sign.
So. I didn't realize you had that. I just happened upon it in a store once. So
love it. Love it.
You're fine.
Such good advice from all of you. Thank you all. Klevelin, thanks for wonderful information. We all need to take care of ourselves. So let's work on that. And next week is, I forgot to look it up. Next week is Jolene and Dave. They have the coolest class prepared for us. They have a class called Every Oil Has a Story. And I was telling her what Leanne and I were thinking it might be, that it might be behind the bottle, that every oil has a story from where it comes from. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but that's not it. And they've got a great approach to every oil is a story. You won't want to miss it. So come and join us, and hang on if you want to join into the business tonight a little bit as we talk business tonight. And thanks so much for getting on. Love y'all so much. Oh, going to remember to stop recording.